Okay, before I explain how Nightweave operates, there's a couple of things I neglected to mention in the setup. She starts with the D8. She also has these season tokens, which are completely optional. They're just here to help you remember what season she is in. So when she switches seasons, you switch this. You can always tell what season she's in by looking at her right layer board and seeing which spiderlings that have not been deployed yet. That's the other way to do it. And I also did not mention the web tokens, which are only used for her expansion modules, so we're not going to worry about those. Okay, so Nightweave is extremely simple to run on her turn. All you do is, these are her brains, all you do is flip the top card and she does what it says. And we're going to do that right now. Oh, she always goes first, by the way. So, top card. Then you'll notice there's, on these cards, there's, as you saw before, there's 4 seasons. She's in winter right now, as my token shows. So we're going to follow the stuff that's in this web. She's got a spiderling icon here, which means she's going to place a spiderling somewhere. Where's she going to place it? This is showing you she's going to place it at a basic resource location, and she's going to start in the pebble spot. And she can place it there, so the card is done. That's how simple her turns are. Now I'm going to take a fake turn. I'm not doing a real playthrough for this video. This is purely instructional. I'll probably do a playthrough later. But for right now, I'm just going to show you how this works. I'm going to place a meeple at the 3 twig spot. Pretty popular spot earlier in the game. That's where I'll go. Now Nightweave's going to take her turn. Okay, you immediately notice that this is the Nightweave icon, which means she's going to place herself out in the meadow. And that's what this iconography is saying. Play a card from the meadow and place Nightweave there. Now, if you look at the left layer board, it has all of the actions right here. So you probably aren't going to need to reference the rule book after you read it once. It's 90% of the rules are on these, like I said before. So play a card from the meadow, then place Nightweave there. Pretty straightforward. So she's gonna play a card from the meadow to the peddler, and she's gonna place herself there. Done. Her turn is over. And you'll notice this slot does not get replenished as long as she's in it. So she limits your options slightly. Okay. Let me take another turn here. Let's go this forest card. Oh, by the way, these maples were gifted to me by Chrissy. Again, love you, girl. Hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. Okay. So Nightweave is going to take her third turn. It's got the Nightweave symbol. She's already out, so she can't take a meadow card and place herself there because she's already there. And this does not let her move. Once she's in the meadow, she stays there. So we're going to go to the second action, since she can't do the first action, and that is play a meadow card and then draw a card. So she's going to play a meadow card, 5, dungeon, and she draws a card from the top of the deck, and she sticks it in her hand. Whoa, she has so many cards. Now, you don't really need to shuffle it when you haven't seen what's in it, but it's a good habit to get into, because you should never know what's on the top of her deck. And we're going to replenish the meadow. Ooh, one of my favorite cards. Okay, for her next turn, flip a card. In the winter section, this is just play a card from the meadow. She does not need a meeple to take this action. She just plays a card from the meadow. Simple. 7, she gets the Wanderer. And replenish. Let's give her another turn. Okay, Again, no icon. This is to play a card from her hand into her city. And she can do that. She has cards here, so she's going to take the top card. School. She's going to play it into her city. She has 4 cards. She's going pretty good here. Okay. Next action. Flip it. Okay. There's a spiderling icon here, which means she wants to place her spiderling. She wants to place it at a basic location, same as before. And now she's going to start in the 3 twig spot. And you'll notice I'm blocking the 3 twig spot, so she cannot go there. In this case, she won't take the second action yet. She does not take the second action unless she absolutely cannot do the first action, which means she cannot place it in a basic location. There are still some empty ones, so she can do this action. Looking at the tiebreaker, this is the clockwise tiebreaker. Clockwise means she moves left to right. So instead of going to the twig spot, she moves left to right to the next exclusive location, which is the 2 resin. She never goes to the open locations because there's no point for her. Since you can never block them, there's no reason for her to go there. And that's her turn. Okay, now her next action. Okay, this is a spiderling card that wants to place her into the forest. However, she has no spiderlings or herself in the lair. Her lair is completely empty. So when this happens, when you draw this symbol and her lair is completely empty, she prepares for season because she cannot place a meeple. The same is true if she draws this symbol. If she draws either of these symbols, place a Nightweave or place a spiderling, and there's absolutely nothing in her lair, that's when she prepares for season. That is the only time she prepares for season. Let's say that Nightweave was still in her lair. Let's just have a different situation. And she draws this card. She wants to place a spiderling. She doesn't have any spiderlings. However, Nightweave is here. So she does not prepare for season. As long as there's something here, she doesn't do it. She can't place a spiderling because she doesn't have one. She can't place it here either. So she slides down to the default action. And this one has her place a spiderling at the market or haven. She doesn't have it, so she can't place it. But she still gets these points. She always does as much as she can, even if she can't place a worker. So she's going to get points equal to her level on the card. The symbol says 2. So she gets 2 coins for this card. She couldn't place the spiderling, but she got 2 points. And I didn't mention this earlier. This has been sitting here the whole time. It's a little box that I use to hide her coins in. I use this for playtesting, and I recommend that you find a way to hide her coins, that you get a better Nightweave experience if you don't know exactly what's in there. I mean, if you have a great memory, I don't, so I don't know. I forget after 2 turns how many coins are in here. It's always a nice surprise when you pick this up at the end of the game and see how many points she beat you by because of the pile of coins in there. So I recommend you do that. You can also just throw them behind the Evertree. That was a suggestion on BGG. Just hide them. Okay. So, yeah, she was out here. Now we draw a card. Okay. No one's in the lair. She can't place a spiderling. She prepares for season. Preparing for season is laid out on the right layer board here. Tells you exactly what to do. Return Nightweave, workers, and webs. We don't have webs, you don't have to worry about that. Return Nightweave, return her workers. Just like a human would do. Now she checks. If full requirements are met, claim a basic event. Now you check her cards that she has played. Now she's played, well, she's played one of 4 different colors, so she clearly does not meet the requirements. It's 3 blue, 3 red, 4 green, or 3 gray, tan. And she only has 1 of each, so she does not claim the free basic event there. Going down the list, add workers. Oh no, reset activity deck and update the season token. So to you reset the activity deck, you take all the cards she's played, all the cards she didn't play, and then you add the cards from the next season, spring. She's entering spring, so these get added into her deck. And I know some of you are having issues wondering how to shuffle sleeved cards, but it is extremely simple. Just push them together. So I will and update the season token to spring. So now we know where she is. And I'll even show you how easy it is to shuffle sleeved cards. Even a giant Everdell stack like this. All you do is push them in. And if you don't think that's shuffled, well, okay. Slide them together. Done. Sleeves make shuffling extremely easy. That doesn't make it more difficult. Okay, so follow the rest of the steps. Now we add workers, draw, and discard per season. And that's all detailed right here. So in spring, +1 worker. Well, she gets a worker added to her layer. +2 cards. She draws 2 cards from the deck, puts them in her hand. And again, should always get in the habit of shuffling her hand up whenever she gets cards added to it. And the last thing she does is she plays a meadow card. Well, she doesn't play it. She rolls for a meadow card and discards it. So 4, 5, 6, she takes it and she puts it in the discard pile. She does not put it in her hand and she doesn't play it into her city. In playtesting, I like to call this her scare roll. So when she leaves a meadow, she scares somebody away. And in this case, she's scaring the resin refinery away. And another thing I'm going to mention, which I've seen a lot of people play this incorrectly, is the discard pile should always be face down. It's not a face-up discard pile in Everdell. There are cards that reference the discard pile, and you shouldn't know exactly what's in there. So, just a heads up there. And now, you replenish. And Nightweave has just prepared for spring.